time to discuss in your group. We're going to start with group number 1 over here. Who is your spokesperson first? Okay, and who is the note taker? All right. So group number 1, I want you to tell the group, the class, what your topic was, and I want you to tell us what you came up with.
The topic was discussing foreshadowing in the short story, if there was any, if we thought it helped the reader or not. And there was plenty of foreshadowing from the beginning of the story to about 3/4 of the way through the story, from Miss Mallard being afflicted with the heart troubles.
Tell us where you found that first.
In the very first paragraph.
Okay. The very first sentence.
Very first sentence.
Yes, there we go.
A little bit of foreshadowing on what would happen to her once she got the news.
Now, why is that foreshadowing? Knowing that Mrs. Mallard was afflicted with a heart trouble, great care was taken to bring to her as soon as possible the news of her husband's death. Why was that specifically a point of foreshadowing?
Because at the end of the story, whenever her husband comes back, it's her heart that gives out. Her heart can't take it.
Okay, good. What else does it show? Yes, physically at the end, she does die. At the very end, her husband actually comes into the house. But what else does that indicate about Miss Mallard in particular?
Maybe she's not as strong-willed.
Maybe not as strong-willed. Is she in this society? When was this story published? 18 what? I'm going to go back to the first page.
1904.
That was her birth.
Yes.
1894.
1894. In 1894 society, how was a woman treated?
Not that.
She didn't really have a say-so.
She didn't have a say-so. The third group over there, a little earlier ago, said that she didn't have a voice also. So what does that say? Who does she live for?
The husband.
The man in her life. Okay, not just her husband, but if she doesn't have a husband, who does she live for?
Daddy.
The dad. If she doesn't have a dad, who does she live for? The uncle. Then the brother. So whatever man is in her life, that's who she's living for. Okay? So in society, would she be considered weak or strong in 1894? Weak. And that's representative of the first line of the story. What else did y'all come up with one?
I noticed the fact that he worked for the railroad company. I thought that was pretty telling. How
that who worked for him?
The husband, Richard. No, not Richard.
Mr. Mallard.
Mr. Mallard. Yes. The fact that railroad, you don't get off the track ever, and that's kind of how their life was going. She seemed to be on a dead end on the same track, and he worked for him, and then there was an accident.
Good. Very good one. Yes. And what's another one about the railroad? Mr. Richards worked. What did Mr. Richards find out? In that same little area you just talked about. That'll be on 556, paragraph number 2.
He worked for the telegraph people? Telegram?
We received the telegram.
Okay.
And where did Mr. Mallard appear? What kind of list?
Oh, under killed.
And how was killed punctuated in the story?
In quotations.
In quotation marks. So is it the absolute 100% killed list, or is it the supposed killed list? The supposed killed list. So could he possibly still be alive at the end? Yes, he ends up being alive at the end. What's another one?
We start to see her being happy about it in about paragraph 3 or 4, whenever she talks about the delicious breath of rain.
Okay.
Most of the time, whenever people talk about rain, it's sad. You're always sad. It's raining outside. But this was a little irony in that it was a delicious breath of rain. It was like, instead of being washed over with sadness, it was like cleansing her. It was a cleansing rain. It did rain.
It was a breath of rain.
Right.
Group 2, y'all had this question too, so we can bring Group 2 into Group 1's discussion as a part of foreshadowing, okay, with nature. Because nature is a part of foreshadowing too in this story. There's a delicious breath of rain in the air. In literature, what does rain signify? Cleansing. Out with the old, bringing on the new, right? A rebirth, if you will. So if there's a breath of rain, does it actually rain in the story? No. So what does that mean for Mrs. Mallard? There's a promise of a new life, but does it actually happen?
She has hope that she'll have a new life.
She has hope that she'll have a new life, but it doesn't happen. At the end, does she get her new life the way she sees it? The way she wants it? Not at all. She gets a new life,
She gets a different
but
kind of
a different kind of new life. Yes,
She gets
indeed.
a different freedom.
Yes. Okay. Anything else?
There was something coming to her and she was waiting for it fearfully. She didn't know what it was. The feeling of happiness that she hadn't felt in a long time.
Okay, and group 3 had a part of this, that she had a feeling of what come over her?
Freedom.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Relief that her husband is alive. Now, what word does she keep whispering?
Free.
Now, it's under her breath at first, right? She says free, free, free under her breath. Then she says body and soul free. But when she first says the word free, free, free under her breath, is it a realization for her just yet? Not yet. When does it become a realization for her?
Says
Out loud, she's almost rejoicing and says body and soul free. Free at last, right? I'm sorry?
Oh, no, that's right. Free body and soul free.
Yes, so what does that foreshadow? Does she become free body and soul free by the end? Yes, it does.
So we said
Anything else you want to add?
towards the end, just piggybacking off of that, about 3 or 4, it starts with her fancy was running riot. At the end of that paragraph, it says it was only yesterday she had thought with a shudder that life might be long.
Yes, and is it long for her? That's a good foreshadowing, because at the very end she ends up dying. By the way, how old is she? To say that she hopes she can have this life for a long, long time.
In her 20s.
Probably in her 20s or early 30s. She's a
And
relatively
she'd
young
probably been
woman.
married for a while at that point.
Yes, and of course she married at a young age back in 1894. Yes, to an older man probably. So she would have her whole life to live for. Would she be encouraged or forced to marry again?
Yes.
Not necessarily, because she's done that, she's been there, done that. She can literally, and she has no children. It's not indicated in the story. So who can she now live for now that her husband is dead? Herself. However, does she give that life? Not at all. She dies very, very, very young, even though she wanted the day before to live a long, long, happy life. Does anyone have any questions about number 1's topic that kind of put in 2 and 3's topic?